Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Random Fandom Zone podcast. My name is Herbert.
And I'm Heather.
Awesome. Well, uh, how's things been going for you?
They're going. You know what? I discovered, and I thought about you because I'm lactose intolerant. And I don't know, maybe you're already aware of this. My mom found this like lactate it's like milk. It is so yummy. So if you're ever wanting some milk and you don't want the dairy, if you're wanting some cereal or something,
So you're lactose intolerant?
yes.
See, I don't think I am, other than just haven't had dairy for like 20 some odd years,
You
25 years.
know, I don't know if you are, but like it's pretty common.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, again, okay. Is there butter or margarine in the food when I go out? Absolutely. So I can't do
No,
that.
but
But
I think milk, like just regular milk, is probably, because believe it, like dairy has a whole ladder of how bad, like the worst, most sensitive things to like cooked cheese is not as bad as milk.
yeah, yeah.
Milk is like the worst.
So milk, I don't drink. I haven't had a glass of milk. And by the way, if you were to offer me $1,000 to drink a glass of milk, I don't think physically I could do it. I don't like if you had like a 8 ounce glass of milk. I don't. There's an amount of money that I might be able to make me drink, but it's not a small amount. And even then, I'm not even sure
Oh,
if I can get
if
through it.
you're interested in some dairy-free milk choices, lactate is amazing.
I try.
It
I've
really does
tried.
taste like milk, and it really doesn't have any of the other side effects.
I tried almond milk before.
Yeah,
Didn't
I don't like almond milk.
didn't care for it. I tried rice milk before, and again, I was smart enough to just like literally take a
No,
tablespoon.
this tastes like milk.
But I never really liked milk other than when I was eating chocolate cookies, and I don't eat
No, no, no,
chocolate
no, no,
anymore.
no, no. I do the milk with like cookies. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not insane. I don't sit there and drink a glass of milk. I'm not a psychopath.
If I could get through a glass of milk, it would be with something that was extremely sweet,
No, I get to. I dip my Oreos in it,
like yeah, that would work. Or chocolate chip was.
or
That's
eating
probably
cereal.
the last time I probably had milk was with someone pour. I went to one of my friend's house to eat, and they poured me this big glass of milk. I'm like, couldn't stop it. And I said, the only way I can drink this is if you got like something sweet. So I ate some cookies or something with it to get it down, and that was like, I don't know. That was a long. That was a while. That was a long time ago. So,
How are you?
well,
How's your day?
oh, fine, fine. Real quick, I'll show you a couple of little toys. So, um, here's our couple of communicators. Now, this is one that you can buy, and it has a magnetic back. So look how thick that side is there. So this is actually pretty good, but these do fall off. This here is a little bit more special. One of my friends is a prop maker, and they had some original molds. So this is actually a mold of the Delta Shield communicator from Star Trek: The Next Generation, and it's two parts. So it's this part here and that part. And what I did was took a hard drive apart. If you don't know, hard drives have metal, and I put a little just a cheap magnet on the back of that, and that way it's magnetic as well. Now the original ones actually had Velcro. So if you ever look at the original outfits, they have the uniforms, the jumpsuits. You'd see there's a piece of Velcro that's there. Um, so,
Well,
but
you
anyway.
beat me to it, but I wanted to say thank you because you sent me my Delta
Oh,
Shield today.
now
This
you're
one has the pin backings. So,
yes, and
yes.
that's the first one I got. And as a matter of fact, I'll tell a quick story. Uh, I would wear that around in my jean jacket, and I get so many compliments about it. I thought, hey, I could go in business and sell some of these. So I put an ad in the, I don't know, whatever the peddler, whatever the local newspaper was, for like 10 or 15 bucks. And I think it would cost me $10. And I figured out if I sold it for 15 bucks, I could make $5 or whatever it was. Nothing. I got no,
No
no,
love after that.
no responses.
That's how it always is.
But yeah, the Delta Shield, and that one there I like better because it's closer to what's used in the military today. Because if you have a colonel rank or a captain rank, they actually use those pins there because they don't fall. I mean, once you pin it in, it's not going to fall off too easily. So the magnet's kind of cool, and these were cool. I've got a bunch of Delta shells, a bunch of communicators over the years and stuff. That's all right. It's giving like a holodeck type of lighting going on. Mine, I'm kind of in my alternative area right now because this podcast kind of came out of
Yeah,
a
yeah, this was a spontaneous
yeah
podcast.
spontaneous one
Let's do some
because
podcast.
we were so happy to talk about and can wait to talk about whoops, wrong one.
Gotta jazz hands.
All right, so you got it right there. You see,
I
you
do
see
see it. But
So it's
when you
copyright.
record that, are we both on the screen now?
I I don't think it is. I think whoever talks pops up, but that's okay. We won't keep it up too long. But let's look at this real quick. This is the pilot.
Hmm.
Director Gregory like Hoblit, probably Stephen Broxo, and some of the stars here. So a couple things on it. Let me see if I can. I thought I'd pull up a couple other. Um, there's a Wikipedia page as well. And so, okay, you had never obviously heard of this,
No, I had never heard of it at all.
and was it Randy Newman did the theme song? Not impressed. Not impressed of the theme song. What
No.
you?
No, 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 no.
I got composition degree. One, I think I sing better, but the gate. There's some songs he written like I Love L.A. That's like one of the big ones he did, and some other ones. But yeah, not impressed. I thought I had some pictures. All right, there we go. There's a bunch of pictures of Cop Rock. So and of course it's the pilot, so we don't get
Yeah, yeah,
everything.
it's the pilot.
We don't get everything. So I'm going to turn off the share right now. But if you need me to go back, just tell me to go to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Wikipedia page or whatever page I need to go to. So I'll let you go first since this is the
Okay,
one.
so okay, and I want to go through it kind of chronologically, but just to start with, I would say you were right in that it had a budget. It's not really bad for the reasons you think it should be bad. It's not really exactly campy. It's bad for other reasons. Again, it does have a budget. So when it starts off, kind of the soft opening, like it kind of had that as a 90s cop drama feel, kind of Law and Order-ish. How are you up to that point? Not getting into the music, just kind of the soft open, like the feel, the vibe, start.
Absolutely. It felt very 90ish. Production values. I mean, there's
Are not
money.
bad.
There was money thrown in it. The opening
Yeah.
scene, some of the other scenes in there was some serious money going on. So if you cut out all the music, it would be the standard cop type show, and actually somewhat interesting, somewhat edgy for the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so then we get to the first number. And okay, I don't hate it. In fact, of all the numbers in that first episode, that one's probably my favorite of the numbers. So I'm kind of getting this rock rap vibe. Like, okay, so maybe that's what we're going with, this edgy cop drama. And they're gonna have edgy rock rap type music to kind of keep that street cred vibe to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so you're talking about like the drug scene where they busted the
Is where they
drug
bust the
house.
people and he's like, we got the power here on the streets. We got the power. I'm like,
Very 90s rap-ish.
okay, I'm not saying that I love it, but I'm just saying like I'm at least on board. I at least
Yeah.
feel like I see where we're going here.
Yes. Now, the second number.
Oh my God.
So
Okay.
Okay, you go.
Okay. Okay. Have I ever showed you the song that no one likes? I thought about like texting that to you. Okay, so this is a theater convention. It's the song in every show that no one likes because it's boring. And there is a girl who does a song about that. This is the song in every show. No one like. Anyway, it is a song given to a completely boring character, and it's usually sung as a curtain song in front of the curtain because they're changing some sets or the leads need to change. And it's a
Oh,
boring song. It's a bad song. It's sometimes left out of the movies. And it's the song on the soundtrack that everyone skips. Why did they choose that song? Like, why did that? Let's make that song that no one likes in every, like, why
so
did they go for that? Not
okay.
only did they go for that, but now we've got a very Broadway vibe. Like, we went from this street cred, like, okay, you're a cop show, to like this
So do
in
you
the middle
think
man, I'm Mr. Cellophane. I'm like, what?
so?
Mind blown.
So do you think that was on purpose that they did the song, the curtain song, the song no one likes?
All I'm telling you is they did the song that no one likes. Have you seen that video? The girl who sings, "This is the song in every show no one likes because it's boring." I'll send it to you.
Okay. All right. So okay. Again, I don't. My musical theater background is very
No, no, no.
limited.
I recognized it
Dude,
immediately. I was like, okay, not only are we now doing Broadway, like Schmigadoon, we're doing the curtain song that is only done as a convention because you got to get something moving backstage so you can open it and keep your plot. You don't want long pauses with a curtain closed.
you know what? I bet you
Ah,
it's okay. Just get your phone back on. I bet you here. I'll put a.
okay, I'm good. I'm good. Sorry.
Got it. Okay.
Right.
I bet you anything. Those folks obviously knew musical theater, knew Broadway, and I bet you anything that that was the thought process. Now, I'll say this: I didn't hate the song. The guy can sing. The
Oh no, no,
person,
I didn't hate him. Like,
the
as a
person,
performer, it's executed
the,
fine.
the person.
But it is the song in every show that no one likes because it's boring.
I would consider that really the first song because other was a rap
Bah.
number, and I thought they're wasting this song on this time for this cop
Why did they
that
do that song?
that's married, and he's like saying he doesn't deserve her, basically, sort of something to
It's
that
not
effect.
a productions number. It's not. No, no, it's not. It's
Now,
not
okay,
about. It's not good.
okay, it's shot well, the lighting's
No,
good.
and again, the actor can sing. Like, yeah, yeah, shot well, lighting's good,
Okay,
good
so
actor, good singer, all that.
and so like for me, that's clueless about musical theater, and I'm gonna guess 75% of the audience that was watching this when it came out in 1990
My jaw
would
dropped. I was
would
like,
have thought
why
like
do you choose the bad song?
if they had the little buttons for like for Nielsen ratings, I bet people people dropped out right at that point
Yeah,
in
yeah. I
time
bet some
and
people
never
never
came back.
watched anymore. Like, oh, I'm done. Like, yeah.
So they got to that.
Again, it's setting up a dramatic situation, and honestly, I'm sure that that's an arc that he's got this cop wife, and she's kind of digging her partner, and he's enamored of her, and obviously she's getting let. So I mean, it's setting up a dramatic arc for us, but it's still not a good number.
Okay, so so we have that, and then we get to another number, and again, it's been a little while since I watched it. Is that is it the politician song next?
Which was also really bad. And again, unlike the "In These Streets We Got," it doesn't go with this kind of crime drama feel. It was frumpy. That one actually I don't think was well performed. It really should have been a dance number. The politician number, it should have been like a Billy Flynn and the press conference rag, and it was really lackluster. If you're gonna go with this Broadway performance, Broadway razzled. No, I didn't like it. Now, I didn't hate it as much as the other one. Didn't hate it that much, but
So I'm just throwing
no.
some pictures real quick up here of Cop Rock to show the dramatic lighting and all these other things going on. Apparently, it's been made fun of by other people uh, as well. So yay! Um, I don't think there's any more photos of Cop Rock. So here's the pilot here. Summarize September 26th. So we're filming this basically like it's almost the
Almost.
anniversary of it. So let's look real quick. We'll just look at this. 14 million people watched it, had a 10 share, and then the next one, 9, 7, and then I'm going to assume it's like almost, I got kind of steady there, then big drop there, and then it continues to drop. Yeah, once you get the fours back then. So, okay. Now, I'm going to tell you the reason why I brought this up. Uh, Bob, I was listening. as a podcast, as a YouTuber, I got a free month of a master class, and it was like it's this streaming service that has like politicians and musicians and business people, AI people, talking about things. And I was listening to it as I was working out to Bob Iger's. I thought, oh, it could be interesting to hear about his, business aspect. He talked about cop rock, and he talked about one of his business decisions to be successful is to take chances. So Stephen Boxco came and pitched him a Broadway Hill Street Blues, basically musical, and he thought, let's go with it. So apparently, like it aired, what was it, 11 shows. I think they even had like one or two more shows that they didn't even show because it was so bad. They put something else on. And I thought this was kind of funny. At the end of it, they had a rap party. Stephen Bosco had a rap party, and he went over there and says, "It's not over until the fat lady sings." Then on cue, a large lady opera singer came down and was singing "It's Over" or whatever it was. And but he said, big hits, big misses. If it worked, it could have been a Cop Rock 7 seasons.
But here's the thing. I think you and I agree. A syndicated episodic musical is never going to work. The most you can hope is like a season, like a Gallivant. The only ones I would even give credit to would be Gallivant, and even that, by the second season, we were struggling.
I remember when I said, or did we watch Gallivant together? I
think I watched some of it together.
I think I watched it first, and I said, you got to watch Gallivant. I went to go see, this is around that time, I had that AMC pass or whatever it is, or what was that, movie pass, whatever it was. And so I just go watch anything. And I didn't know what The Greatest Showman was. So I went there and like, it's Wolverine singing. And I thought, this is great. So I said, go see it. I think you went.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, oh my goodness. Way better than Les Miserables.
Than the movie, absolutely.
Yeah, the musical. And again, Wolverine was singing in that one as well. But The Greatest Showman worked.
But it's just a movie.
But I'm saying, okay, no. I'm saying the music worked for it. So it's hard to do that.
No, I would say Gallivant kind of worked, but again, that was a 2-season thing, and it was struggling as it went on. The other one I would give credit to is Schmigadoon. But again, they had their thing. They knew what they weren't trying to do. Episode after episode, season after season. I would definitely know Schmigadoon really had its. They knew exactly what they were doing, and they were making this much and no more.
A Crazy Ex-Girlfriend I thought was pretty good for 2 seasons. And then at that point, either you're going to get with the guy or not. And it just kept on going and going. And it just didn't work. If they would have done 8 episodes for a season, they could have had 3 or 4 seasons of it. And that way you had time to write songs that were good. Okay. So back to Cop Rock. We got the lawyer, you got the politician one.
Which again, I didn't think that, I guess there was a few character things, but to me, it wasn't really character developing, plot advancing. It was just really dull and lackluster.
And what I was thinking was, I was watching this, could you just take out the musical parts and just show it as a regular cop show? No. No. Well, because they're showing like how she was a crooked politician. And
you don't think you could do that without the music? I think
no. I'm talking about just go through and re-edit it.
Oh, you mean with the footage that we already had?
Yes.
You don't mean as a concept.
No.
You mean just with the footage.
No.
So I guess then that they did make that number important. It gives us stuff that we need for the show, but it's still not good.
Okay, so we got that one.
Now and this is probably my second favorite number, is the courthouse number.
And did you see a friend in there?
To me, I did see. I saw Quark. Thumbs up to Quark.
With a bunch of hair.
Quark.
Looked like a lawyer.
Quark.
And I was hoping he was going to sing, but he didn't.
Right?
So we actually had, it was 2, wasn't it? 2 Star Trek people? Quark was there. Who was, the captain. Remember the captain?
No.
The police captain?
Oh, yeah.
That's Jericho. That's Captain Jericho.
Okay, yeah. And now I put that together.
Now he was in people probably know him more from RoboCop. And he's also in a film that I really love. As the years go on, I actually messes with my mind more. It's the Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Mars one. Oh golly, what's the name of it? You know that one?
No.
With they redid it with Bryan Cranston. It was horrible. Anyways, I guess I can look it up real quick. But I, anyways, he played this bad guy that was so good. He says, you know, I don't pay you enough to think. Do as I say. And Jericho was great, and that guy Ronnie, I can't remember, Cox, I think is his name, is a fantastic actor. And yeah, so I saw him and I think, oh, okay, Star Trek, and then Quark comes out of nowhere.
No, but and then I did like the jury choir. I
It was
thought
a
that was
gospel
cool.
piece, right?
Yeah, but it was like the jury, but they were like this gospel choir. But also another issue I had is like now we're doing this sort of gospel number. So we've had like a rock rappy number. We had the song that no one likes, getting much more Broadway style, and now we have gospel. Like it's not musically, it's not finding its feet. It's not giving me something that I know what it's about.
Yes, so to be like going into a musical and you got a rock and heavy metal and a rap and a
Like
country,
like
and
Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, although that does work, but it does a lot of styles.
I guess, I mean, I can understand trying to use different styles to reflect
No,
who's on screen or what's going on,
no.
but does it work? I think you're kind of right.
Like when you go and watch Les Mis, even like you know those songs are all belong to Les Mis. Like they they work together.
All
You
right, so
know what you know it.
we got a cop scene going on there. Somehow, uh, something goes bad with a cop, and a cop gets killed, right?
And talk about overacting. When that cop died, the other cop, oh, I mean, oh my gosh, that was, I get it. It's sad. The cop died, but like his buddy cop was over the top.
And
The
then,
Academy Award for most overacted scene.
so does that. Then there's a side plot. Okay, is there any other songs other than the last song?
I don't think so. I'm sorry, I don't have my notes,
So
but I
a
think
side
that's
plot, going back to the beginning, was they busted this drug house, and there was a lady with her baby in there. That was the drug addict.
and that is actually an actress that I like. She was on Gilmore Girls. She
Ah,
played Luke's sister, and again a little similar actually. I think she does that kind of character well. She played his sister who was like kind of a big loser. I don't know, she'd been into drugs, but kind of had a past a mile wide. And she comes back to Stars Hollow where Luke is, and he's really kind of suspicious and like, you're just a big mess up. But she's kind of past that, and she really has kind of gotten her life together, and she ends up getting married. And anyway, so she's a character in Gilmore Girls, and I like that actress. I think the actress in Gilmore Girls and in Cop Rocks, I think she did a good job with the acting.
so the subplot is that she has a baby that she really can't take care of, and the lady cop, the female cop, was saying, "Hey, I can get you to help. I can't give you any money or whatever. Your CI didn't come up, so I can't give you $50." And she says, "I ain't got no money on the street." Didn't she sing a song saying, "I'm gonna be on the street" or something like that?
She sings, and again, a little bit of a gospel feel to her song. So this mournful, ballady gospel song about how hard her life is. But I don't feel bad because the cop is like, "Hey, I'll set you up. I'll get you help. I'll get you, rehab help," because I guess she's into drugs. And she's like, "No, they'll take my baby away. No, they'll take my baby away." And then, as you know, in the end, she basically just sells her baby.
Yeah, I'm talking about. Okay, this is 1990. This is 1990. Now, again, being edgy. I mean, so basically, she sings a song how much she loves her baby, right? Something like that, and then some guy comes up with a car and
Yeah.
like gives her like $100 or I don't know, whatever it was.
I think it was $200.
$200. And I'm just laughing because it's ridiculous that that she's so addicted to drugs that she's selling her infant child for $200. And I'm thinking, all right, has that ever happened? I don't know. I hope it never happened. But
I think it's ridiculous, but that could be from my place of privilege where like that's not a part of my world. So maybe that does happen.
I'll say this: it didn't happen like that. It never happened like that, where you're sitting on a bench thinking, I love you, baby," and whatnot, and then the car just pulls up, says, "Oh yeah," and it looked like I think it looked like someone that was going to adopt the
No,
baby, right?
for a second I was like, oh, is this an official adoption? Has she decided her baby's better off, like, like a CPS? Hey, we're adopting out your child. But no, I don't think that's what happened.
So it's and that's how
But
we
I
end.
will say, if they took the music out, we did have some dramatic tension, and we had a good arc. Like I don't know that I'm going to watch anymore just because of time constraints, but I'm curious about this mother and child. Like, is she going to try to
Oh,
find the child later? Are they going to find out that she sold the baby? Like,
that's it. She ain't
and
coming
what's
back.
going to happen with the crooked cop that shot the drug guy
Or they set him up and shot him.
and shot
Anyways,
him? Because,
yeah.
well, his juniors or whatever, like, messed it all up and they ruined the thing, and he was yelling at them, and then he just went back in there and shot the guy. Like, because they messed up, like, however they were going to prosecute him, they messed it up by not having a warrant when they entered the property or something. But again,
Yeah,
all that is dramatic. Like, as a cop show without the music, that's not horrible. Now, does it stand out from like Law and Order or all the other cop shows? I don't know if it does that, but
I give credit for trying to do something. You know,
oh, it's something.
it tried to do something. Now, whether it's successful or not, I think time has proven that it hasn't been successful as Star Trek. I think we're going to say that Star Trek and Next Generation, DS9, Voyager, Enterprise were more successful than Cop Rock. But okay, I'll say this: the name by itself is interesting.
I
Cop.
don't know. I don't think I would have gone with that name.
But
And
if
if
I
you're going to go with Cop Rock, that's why on that first number, I thought we were going for rock, not Broadway musical.
if it was like, okay, I agree. I
Like
agree.
Hamilton. They should have been Hamilton.
I agree. So if it is Cop Rock, it should be rock bands. And like that Newman song was sort of rock, whatever. I don't even know what you call it. It was just not a good song. And you have the whole cast like they're just like looking and grooving and whatnot. Oh yeah, I'm thinking, no man, you ain't grooving to that song. You're not. You're getting paid. Those are some.
You know where that it reminded me, although it was much better, much more successful. Not that I like the movie, but I like the number in the Blues Brothers, that big diner number. That's what that number needed to be.
Yeah, okay. The Blues Brothers as a musical is way more successful than this.
No, I'm just saying, but that number is in that kind of genre. That's what it should have had, that level of like excitement and movement and
Yeah,
interest.
so I guess the problem with the pilot, and again, I haven't watched. I had thought about maybe at some point I'll go watch because it's only like 11 episodes. Go watch the whole corpus of Cop Rock, um, and it took me 2 days. I watched part of it and said, "Ah, that's enough," and then came back and finished it the next day. Um, so, am I better for having that experience? I think it, it was a good experience to kind of see that someone with a lot of power, a lot of success, took a chance on this, and uh, and probably knew in the back of their mind that it may not work, and they still took a chance, and it didn't work. So I will applaud that. At least it wasn't the conventional cop show, and they tried something different. Maybe it didn't pan out. However, it's better than just being a rehash of Hill Street Blues again, or any other cop show that we've had a million times in the past.
I'm sending you the song no one likes. You can watch it later.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, in the sense of they did take a chance on something. And again, it's not bad for the reasons I thought it would be bad. And you know what? There were more little moments that worked than I expected. Like, I didn't expect the story to actually be kind of compelling and to kind of, as a pilot, set up this arc that I could actually see being a little bit interested in. So it had some things that I did not expect.
Oh, a couple of things real quick. All right. So here's the cast of that show. Ronnie Cox, that's Captain Jericho from Star Trek. Hated. Remember, that was the episode that Picard was going to go work on this thing, and he got relieved of duty at the Enterprise, and Riker couldn't work with him. Anyways,
He's the one that made Troy wear a regular
Ralph-
uniform.
and actually, that made a lot more sense. I prefer a more formal.
I
attire.
liked her in her little turquoise dress.
Ernie Hudson. I met him. I shook his hand at a Comic-Con. You probably know him from Ghostbusters, but he's been on a lot of shows. The last show that he was on was Quantum Leap, the reboot of Quantum Leap. But Was it The Substitute? He played his real mean principal in The Substitute. So he's a really solid actor in there. I'm trying to see if there's anybody else. Is that the one you're talking about? The drug dealer,
Yeah, the girl
Catherine?
that had the yeah.
And
So,
I guess I don't see Quark on here, but we know
yeah.
he's.
Yeah.
I made sure I knew it was him, but I did look at the credits to make sure.
Oh, I didn't even need to look at the credits. I was like, yes, that's him.
So here's here's the storyline: a drug dealer kills Ra's partner, incensing LaRusso. A drug dealer mother loses her baby. I guess that sums. I guess that sums it up. Did you know that it's the only episode that Ernie Hudson stars in? Did not know that. Uh, the judge releases suspects on their own recognizance due to the issue of prison overcrowding. Suspects are not sent to prison; they're sent to jail. That makes more sense. Okay, and soundtrack. He's Guilty. Music and lyrics by Randy Newman. Anyway, so kind of interesting. So, well, I'm sorry. In some aspects that I thought you being a musical background, and again, I would not have known about the song that nobody likes, the curtain song. So that made more sense after you mentioned that why do
But
we
yeah,
have,
you wouldn't have that in film. Like, why would you need that?
yeah, and so it shouldn't even be in this TV show, but it
No.
was. And like Gallivant, sorry, not Gallivant, Spigadoo.
If
Like,
Schmigadoon did that, they would have been making fun of it, and
yeah,
they would have kind of pointed out that like this is stupid and a really
well,
bad song.
it's like the Dream Ballet, or what is
Yeah,
it
yeah,
called?
yeah. No, we're not doing a dream ballet.
And then they went back, and like even you were saying, "Oh no, not a Dream
No, we
Ballet,"
said at the same time. You were like, not the dream ballet.
and then they're like,
Me and
"Whoa."
Schmigadoon.
So I mean, they called it because apparently, I guess no one likes the Dream Ballet,
No one likes the dream ballet.
and
That was one
so
of those when they did Oklahoma. Well, and I guess it was part of the original Broadway script, so I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but like it was kind of like an artsy fartsy. We're gonna tell the story again in ballet in this little moment in the second act, and we're gonna, do all this and make it about. Yeah, no, that didn't work.
so kind of like Hamlet, where he does the play within the play, the
Yeah,
little.
but doesn't he kill somebody in the play? Doesn't somebody die in the? Oh no, but he's doing that play to show that he knows how
Yes,
the person was killed.
so it makes sense in
Yeah,
Hamlet. That's the
yeah, it's a
bard.
plot device in Hamlet. In
So
Oklahoma, it's just an artsy fartsy kind of
if I
like
ask you this question, if the bard would have wrote Cop Rock, could it have worked?
you know what? The Bard wrote a lot of plays that you haven't heard of because people don't like him that much. So,
Uh, so he could have done his
he's written
version
like,
of.
the body that we all know and love, but there's plays of his that never get produced unless maybe you're the RSC and you want to do the full,
So
body of
like
work.
like the Sheriff Waltz probably would have been a name back then. They would have called it or something like that, or whatever was a popular dance during Shakespeare's time. So yeah, interesting little side note to TV history. Um, and again, you apparently never heard of it. Probably a lot of people
Never
that
heard of it.
be
But
listening to this
I do like
podcast.
Quark. It was good to see my friend.
Yeah, and good to see. I mean, this is 1990. So what's that? How far away is that from Buffy?
I don't think that it's not far because Buffy was
Was that 93?
96, 93, 94.
Okay, so 4 years before that. Then DS9 is around that era also. So
X Files is in that era.
the cool thing the last time I was at the Star Trek convention, Quark comes up to here like to hear to me like I would be a tall frame gay apparently, and so I got to meet him and Rom, and it was pretty fantastic. But yeah, having him come out, I thought I hope Heather recognizes Quark Cop Rock.
Oh, I know. Yes, I was there for Quark.
And if I next time I see him, I might ask him about the Cop Rock experience.
Oh,
And
you should. You
because
should.
I'm sure he's been asked that before, but it's probably been a while since somebody even brought up Cop Rock to him. I'm trying to think anything else about this episode that. it's a standard 44-minute, show
What I
back
think could
then.
have been interesting if you want a cop musical is what if they'd taken again, and I hate to keep saying this, but like a Law and Order, a CSI, one of those copy Hill Street Blues shows that was successful, and just did like a musical episode. The way they did like with Buffy, with Scrubs, with a lot of things got really show. There was like a little trend there where shows were doing like a musical episode. I think Flash has done that.
Yeah, did Quark sing in the Buffy one?
No, Quark was already gone from the Buffy universe by then.
I think he had a little show called DS9 going on.
Yeah, he's her principal, but they also destroy the high school and they all move on to college. Yeah, so there's a definite like point in Buffy where the show kind of changes.
Well, he went on to have his fantastic career, so great.
He did.
And
And
actually,
he's really good. I mean, very talented actor. He's amazing.
other than Ernie Hudson, I think Quark went on to do probably more than anybody else in Cop Rock. But at that time, Ernie
And
Hudson.
Quark has actually done a ton of stuff. You just don't always know because he's kind of a character actor, so he doesn't necessarily. I mean, you all know Quark, but sometimes he's just like a featured character for a little scene of a huge series. He's not always.
That brings a good point that back here in the 90s that you could have made a living being a character actor.
Oh yeah.
And today, since you don't have 26 episodes, there's less work for a lot of folks out there to make a living. A couple of people I follow on Instagram, they were on various sci-fi shows and what like that. Um, you know, from what it looks like, they're not working, and so it is a Hollywood is very challenging to make a living as an actor. And it used to be like for me, I'm a character actor. I'm really good at what I look for, and can do. And in the 90s, if I was my age here in the 90s, I think I could have worked a pretty good bit doing kind of similar Quark type things, lawyers and doctors, principals, those type of things that you need. Quark wasn't a leading person. Did he steal the show on any of the Buffy? Did he steal any scenes?
No,
from
no,
them?
I don't. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at individual scenes. It was a fairly small part, featured in a few episodes. He was he wasn't even in that many episodes. He wasn't like Quark. He wasn't kind of just like a regular.
So,
He didn't have the gravitas to say like Buffy's mother, or I'm trying to think of other people. But yeah, it was
could
fairly
you
perfunctory.
could you tell he was a good actor,
Of
or
course, he's Quark, dude.
okay. I mean, because like again, sometimes you get these small actors that have these small parts that you can say, oh, this person is great, is fantastic. So I was just curious. Uh, he has a big presence at the Star Trek convention. I'll tell you that what. And he mentioned the last time this is when the strike was going on, so they couldn't talk about Star Trek, and they basically asked us a question. Said, "Why do you want my autograph? Why does anybody want my autograph?" And so someone got it because we love you. And it's like, anyway. So it didn't make a whole lot of sense, but it is interesting. Well, I'm trying to think. I think we covered Cop Rock pretty well. I mean, thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you think?
Ultimately, on the whole, I think I'm gonna have to go with thumbs down.
If you're interested in interesting TV ideas that doesn't quite work, um, I think it's interesting to watch. You know what? And sometimes it takes a couple episodes to get your legs. So that by the fourth or fifth episode, either the music got better or like Crazy Ex-Girlfriend or Gallivant, it gets worse.
I'm gonna say I think it probably gets worse. I just don't think when you're trying to pump out lots of music that it actually gets better.
I mean, Randy Newman's a good songwriter, but if they think from the 90s, name me a couple of songwriters that were around in the 90s.
Dude, that's not my era.
From the Broadway. There's nobody that's around
In the 90s? Would Wicked have been coming up in the 90s?
Okay, even like this, isn't like we're getting close to like Lion King time and some of the musicals from Disney
Guess you could say for Lion
or
King.
Beauty
Yeah.
and the Beast
Lion. So okay, Disney.
Little
So
Mermaid. And again,
Elton John. What's his name? Art. Come on, he did all the Disney. I should know his name.
That's all right. But so Rainy, again,
Alan Menken. Alan Menken. He was the one. He did Little Mermaid and then did a whole bunch of Disney that really led to
I,
their kind of renaissance.
and again, ABC at the time, which is what Cop Rock was on, was owned by the Mouse, was owned by Disney, and so
Alan Menken probably could have done something for Cop Rock.
I think if they went with someone other than Randy Newman, maybe you know what?
Elton John. Could they have gotten
Surely,
Elton John?
surely there was 50 to 100 Broadway composers that no one ever heard of that would have been hungry to be able to write songs for a Cop Rock that could have came out there and knocked some things out of the park.
But again, I also think I think they should have stayed with the edgy rock and not tried to give it this Broadway gospel-y vibe.
You know, Cops, the musical, maybe a better name. It's not great.
It doesn't make me want to go see it.
I mean, the name Cop Rock is the title alone is good.
No, it's not, dude.
Because you think, well, what is this?
Yeah,
Now,
but not in a way that I want to find like.
But this is the difference. You get one chance, one opportunity to have someone watch it, and if it isn't knocked out of the park, it's over. Like Faulty
That's
Towers.
true for most things. That's true for most. Well, at least in the TV world, like.
Well, like Faulty Towers, the first season, the first episode, is just so funny. You're going to come back on there. He said the second season, which was a couple of years from the first season, had to be funnier just to equal the first season because of and so he knew that instinctively, and I thought, well, that's a really good.
But again, I also think he knew, and he might be right. They could not have done 24 episodes a season for 8, 11 seasons. Like he knew this is what we've got. We have, like he knew when to be like, this is the material that we have space for. We're done.
That's the one thing I think the BBC did better than America, because going back in the 70s and even early in the 60s with Doctor Who and other things I'm sure I didn't know of, I think they did that for money reasons, that they couldn't afford to do more than 8 episodes or 10 episodes.
I don't know. Even now, though, the British television shows, British productions, British shows tend to be more conscious of not. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, and you can point to shows definitely, but I think that generally the reputation is more like, yeah, we have this much material, and that's what it is. Now, again, Are You Being Served? Obviously, fights against that, and Keeping Up Appearances does. But there's Faulty Towers, there's To the Manor Born, there's Good Neighbors. Yeah. They were clamoring for Good Neighbors to keep on, and really To the Manor Born, highly successful. But they were like, no, this is what we have.
Did you ever watch The Goodies?
No.
Okay. So, anyways, that was like one of my first British shows on PBS to watch. But same thing. They got a handful of episodes, and you can do that well. So, I mean, we argued about this a little bit before with Star Trek. If they were in the 90s, did 8 episodes or 12 episode seasons, some of the episodes that weren't the stronger episodes wouldn't have got made, I guess. And they would have more time to put into, gave Data a chance to relax and actually get his acting chops back together instead of every week having to learn a bunch of techno babble that no one can say in real life. Well, I think that's a pretty good episode of Cop Rock. Okay, so do you want to share what you want me to watch, or have you thought?
Yes, our reveal, and I've got 2, but they're related. You can pick if we're going to do one or the other, or if we're going to do both, because I couldn't quite decide.
Okay.
I would like to revisit Babylon 5, because we did an episode. I don't know if you can link it here if you're going to do that. If not, it's on our thing. The episode where we talk, because I was into the first season of Babylon 5 when we did that, and we were talking about how and what I thought about Babylon 5, like up to that point, which again was back in the first season. So I'd like to revisit that now that I have completed my Babylon 5 journey, and you're not recording me, even though anyway. So my Babylon 5 journey, how and what I thought of the show. So I think we should do either season 5, episode 20, or season 5, episode 21, because they're the final episodes. So we could do one or the other or both. There's either Objects at Rest or Sleeping in Light.
So it's 2021. You know, I could watch the last 2 episodes of Babylon 5. That's fine.
I kind of like the last two because the second to last one kind of finishes up Babylon 5, and then the other one kind of really finishes up in the future, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, we can do those, and then I will discuss the Babylon 5 journey, what we think of those episodes, how I.
That sounds good. So save the other one for another cast because I'm fine with Babylon 5. I love Babylon 5.
Yeah. So we can
I'm-
discuss that. Actually,
my-
I wish we could do like a reaction to that. My reaction to that video, because yeah, whether I still agree with my thoughts at that time, whether I have been converted.
Well, Babylon 5 to me, well, I mean, I just enjoyed a great deal. And, you know, well, I guess we'll talk more about it, but it's one of those things you kind of got to earn.
Oh, no, I earned it. I have now earned Babylon 5.
You know,
I have earned it.
It always
We need
surprises me.
pins for Babylon 5 like Star Trek. Like, see, I earned it.
It always surprises me when I talk to people that love science fiction that haven't watched Star Trek: The Original Series, or The Twilight Zone, or you know, some of Doctor Who. I can understand you can't watch all of it, but at least some of Doctor Who, the original series, not the reboot back in the 2005s or whenever it was. And if you came in the next generation, usually a lot of folks at least go back and if you only have watched the movies of Star Trek, the movies are completely different than the TV show. And so anyway, that kind of surprises me a little bit. So that's I think that's cool. I think our fans out there. But by the way, thank you all that's been watching on TikTok. We've gotten hundreds of views of these of the shorts. Thanks to technology, I can put it into some processors and say, hey, find the best little bits and come up with 2-minute little parts that we talk about. And I'm really fascinated. It does a decent job. Sometimes on the subtitles, it's misspelling things, but you know, it's all right. It kind of works. But yeah, this push here is really cool. And if you like this type of content, just make sure you share it with other people. Let other people know about this as well. And if there's something you think we should watch, let us know as well, because that'd be kind of interesting.
If we've seen it, we'll do a rewatch, and if not, we will discover something new.
Yeah, mostly we do the science fiction things, but we could get to a point where we run out of.
You know, if it's got
franchise.
a fandom, we'll check it out.
You know, remember that one time we did that Comic-Con, and the person we're doing like the people that were in love in science fiction,
relationships in science fiction. Yeah.
And I wish I would have.
I know. I wish I could remember what fandom that was.
It was some, to me,
micro fandom.
But they came in where they were so enthusiastic about it, like they just assumed everybody would know about it, like a Star Trek or Star Wars, or even like Babylon 5 or Red Dwarf or something like that. It has what I would call a legitimate fandom. You know, it was probably some type of you know, manga.
I think, was this some type of manga, something
anime,
like that. Yeah, something like that.
And
which, you know, that as a genre is definitely wildly popular.
So let me get this straight. Your obscure fandom, we're going to talk about in the relationships of science fiction. You know, and she just wanted to confirm that we weren't talking about that because she wanted to go somewhere else or go home or whatever. And also, what was interesting on that particular one, we had a lady from Germany.
Right. I didn't even think she knew anything about science fiction.
We had like the 5 o'clock or 4:30 or 4
yeah, like the last one. It was the last one, the last day. Like, so if you wanted to leave, you were out the door.
And I guess they paid, you know, $30 to go to it, so they wanted to get their money's worth of that. So that's one reason why I actually do like Comicpalooza, because we can actually do fan
panels,
fan panels, and you know, you're competing against
William Shatner talking next door,
Mother of Dragons,
yeah.
or I think these are all the people that I've been up against in my little panels, and surprisingly, there's some people that come to my little panels comparison to, you know, Bill Shatner or, you know, Mother of Dragons and whatnot. So it's just like, okay, kind of interesting. I mean, even like last time, and we won't talk a whole lot about it, but like I do want like how to become a background actor. And what question am I always going to get, Heather?
How do you be an actor in your favorite science fiction show?
Well, you know, if you get an
That
agent, you do a bunch of parts, and you got to have a manager, and you're out there working the craft. Yeah, so it's yeah.
they
Well,
want to be proper actors in their favorite shows. Or this is the other question I like. Are they do they fly you out there?
yes, they do. No,
They do. They don't just yeah. They fly you out there just to stand over there and they're gonna film something around you. Yeah, they fly you out there for that.
I'm not gonna say that they have never flown an extra out somewhere, but you've got to have some mad skills or a look that's just
Or they've got to be going to like the Amazon where they're not gonna find people. Like the whole production needs to move there. And even then, they would probably find somebody at least on that continent.
yes, like when they were doing Lord of the Rings, they weren't flying people
No,
from
they were using people from New Zealand.
Texas.
Now, they might put you in a Jeep and drive you up into the mountains where they're filming, but
Yes, they'll drive you to location. Yes, but you got to get to
they're not going
the
to put
base
you on a
camp.
plane and fly you, yeah, over states and countries. No.
Those are called actors. When they do that, they're paying you as an actor. And think of this: are you going to go fly to New Zealand for $88 a day?
You know
Because
what? Okay, I know it's retrospective, but if people could go back in time travel, they would probably do that for Lord of the Rings. Just be like, I was in the background of Lord of the Rings. Of course, I mean,
oh
obviously, I know
yeah,
it's retrospective. You didn't know they were making it while, like
if I could have been even in a crummy Star Wars film or a Star Trek episode or whatever, I would have lost money for sure to go just to say I was in it.
and I think sometimes those are like I know Seinfeld did a lot of like lottery. I don't know. I want to say Make a Wish, but Make a Wish is for kids. But like there were sometimes like fan awards. X Files might have done some of that.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there's a part because again, if you can sit there and drink coffee, that's all you got to do. I mean, really, honestly, when they put makeup on me and like look at my wardrobe, I'm thinking, why? I'm going to be out of focus in the background, and like The Walking Dead was the one that really kind of got to me a little bit because they wanted to make sure that your cuffs were unbuttoned, and literally, I'm a dot. My whole body's a dot. So, yeah, and even if it wasn't, they're not. If you're looking at me and my little button on my, you're not. We're in a lot. That film's got a lot more problems than that going on. So it is interesting to art direction people and everything like that. But these people do take their job serious because that's their job. Their job is wardrobe. Their job is art direction. I've been on set before where it's the 70s. I literally have a watch that I've had since the 70s, or glasses that were in the 70s, and they say don't wear them because
Mm-hmm.
it's not. I'm thinking I was there. I
Mm-hmm.
remember one time I was on one set and he had to have a suit, and the person was arguing with the person about his suit, and he said, "Listen, I went to so and so. This is custom made suit to my body." And they were saying, well, it doesn't fit or whatever it was. It wouldn't. And it's like, this is $1,000 suit or whatever. I don't remember what it was, but anyways, very interesting. Well, I look forward to doing Babylon 5 again. And I believe it's on Tubi right now, isn't it?
Yes, I think it's on Tubi. Yeah,
Yeah, you got to love Tubi with all the cool content out
so
there.
it will have commercials on Tubi.
That's all right. Kind of brings you back to the 90s when it came out. So kind of gives you some of that. So, well, that's awesome. Well, I think we had a really good episode. Let me share this last part here. And well, thank you so much for listening and watching the Random Fandom. I'm Herbert.
And I'm Heather.
And please come back next week and look for us on TikTok. You can see www.therandomfandomzone.com. That'll take you to the YouTube channel. Go search for us, same name on TikTok and on Instagram. Become our friends and let us know what you want to see and so forth. So we'll see y'all next time. Thank y'all.